So that was it. I like parked them there and I didn't really think much about it. And like one day I think YouTube's like, you made $100, and I told Landon and like Landon's like, you made $100 on your own? I'm like, yeah. He's like, never look back. And he pushed me.
Where did the idea come from for before they were famous? And talk me through, because I've had this with videos where I have this I've done it a couple times where I do this run of kind of like, here's what's happening in the news. It's a little similar to Inform Overload, just because I'm like, well, people know me for that. It gets views brought to my channel, more people to come listen to my podcast, win-win, right? But I'll have this moment where I script out a whole video, I film the video, edit the video, and then I go, should I even post this? And then I post it and it ends up being the best video on the channel. Like, was there a moment where you're like, should I start this channel? And then what was the thing that made you just do it?
Yeah. And no shade to Inform Overload because I would never have got on YouTube if I didn't. I think it was like 3 years full time on that show. And I didn't even Dave, there was another guy on it named Dave, and like people seemed to really like him. He was super wacky. And then there was a girl. I don't know if she was, but I didn't feel like the star of the show. But I was like, okay, I wouldn't watch this. Like I wasn't into like woman gives birth to 10 children
That's what I
stuff.
felt, bro, for 2.5 years.
Yeah. So then so I'd be like, well, what am I into? And what would
Mhm.
I watch? And obviously, I took like huge inspiration from Entertainment Tonight and E Talk and all those Canadian shows that we grew up on. And essentially, it's like, okay, if I can't get access to the celebrities and I care about the entertainment industry, I would talk about like how did they find success, and it's just so relatable and such like a like a Wikipedia is. If you want to know how old someone is, you do that, and then before
Mhm.
they're famous, it was just like such a no brainer. I have the trademark to it now, so just no one had used that obvious
Which is
slogan.
great. It's such a good SEO. Like, who was
Yeah,
so and so before they were famous? Like, it's great branding for sure.
famous in there,
Yeah.
before in there. So I tackled it twice. And the first few ones that I know I did in my mom's basement, and it was just people I really cared about, like Russell Brand, Eminem, and the guy who created the show Survivor, because I love Survivor. And like Russell Peters, Canadian comic, was one. So that was it. I like parked them there and I didn't really think much about it. And like one day I think YouTube's like, you made $100, and I told Landon and like Landon's like, you made $100 on your own? I'm like, yeah. He's like, never look back. And he
Yeah.
pushed me. He pushed me to like, if you the first $100 is the hardest. If you can do that, and I think the next one was 300, and then it quickly went into the thousands, and then like boom, I had like a December payout in 2015 that squashed all my debts and set me
Amazing.
up for. It was like yeah, it was like 86 grand. Like changed my
Wow.
life.
Dude, I started a fake. You've been listening to The Johnny Rogers Show. New episodes air every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.